Hello everyone, I am Hannah Khosla, PhD student of Mechanical Engineering Department in Villanova University. Today I'll be talking about mechanical characterization of freestanding thin film coatings using nano indentation. So let's get started. So firstly, we will be discussing about motivation. So why freestanding thin film coatings, testing techniques, why nano indentation, sample preparation, finite element analysis, comparison of finite element analysis with experimental results, and summary. So let's talk about motivation and testing techniques first. So if we talk about motivation, so in the field of wound dressing, wearable sensors, 2D materials, mechanical properties are of utmost importance. So that's why it becomes the major requirement that we study the mechanical properties before using these elements or materials. So for testing the mechanical testing of these materials, we can use MEMS, that is micro electromechanical systems, or BULS test. But the disadvantage of these two testing techniques is that the sample preparation is quite difficult. And if we talk about micro electromechanical system, it has another disadvantage that its contact mechanism is also very complex. So that's why we didn't opt these methods and we went for the nano indentation. But the nano indentation, the advantages are easy sample preparation and high resolution in load and displacement and intrinsic sample condition. But it also comes with the disadvantage, which is complex contact mechanism. But this thing is overcome by using the FEA, that is finite element analysis. So let's talk about the sample preparation, sample structure, and nano indentation and AFM. So firstly, how we prepared the sample. So I would like to mention it was prepared by a fellow student, Dong Zhou. So we use the sample of silicon dioxide as a base. And with the CVD, we grew the molybdenum diselenide. And then PE samples from the beaker were placed over the MOSE2 samples. And then it was coated with PMMA. And in the end, the SiO2 was etched away. And we fished out it with the Petron chip and then removed the PMMA from top of it. So in the end, we were left with the Petron chip with MOSE2 and then the PE layers over it. So you may ask, what's the benefit of using this Petron chip? So the benefit of using Petron chip is that we may know, like if we're taking image of this sample or characterizing this sample, we must know where we are. So this Petron chip will be letting us know where we are. So this Petron chip is having some index like 1112, like it will let us know on which hole we are presently at. So if we talk about sample structure, so here SCM and optical images I have represented. So this is SCM images, this is the optical image. So let's compare these two images side by side. So this blue area is representing the SiO2 and then this brown is the molybdenum diselenide. So here we can see from SCM image as well. This is MOSE2, this is SiO2. And these two patches are of polyethylene, this one. So if we can see there is a folded region as well. So you can see this triangular area, the dark area, is a folded PE. So this is the area we call 2PMS. So if we see in the schematic, the red one, the MM, so we can see this is the MM area, monolayer MOSE2, and 1PMS is this one, this patch, and if this layer is folded, so this one is the 2PMS. Now let's talk about nano indentation. So the nano indenter we used was KLA Tanker Nano Indenter G200. And the head we used was DCM2 head. It is having two heads, XP and DCM, but we used the DCM head. If we talk about the resolutions, the displacement was 0.01 nanometer and load resolution is 3 nanonewton, and it is having the CSM frequency of 75 hertz. CSM means continuous stiffness measurement, and it is having harmonic displacement of 3 nanometers. So we can see how we measured the mechanical properties of thin films. So nano indenter was used and it was placed in the center of the hole. So you can see the center of the hole. So if we consider this hole, the nano indenter will be placed in the center. And we will be measuring the mechanical properties of thin film in this way. So let's talk about the AFM images. From AFM images, we measured the thickness of the layers. So the layer thickness for polyethylene was measured to be around 12 nanometer, and for the MOSE2 it was measured to be 0.7 nanometer. So we confirmed the thickness of these two things using AFM. Now let's talk about the finite element analysis and comparison of finite element analysis with experimental results. So if we see the parameters that needs to be decided before finite element analysis were thickness, radius, and the half span. And all these parameters, geometrical parameters, were decided by AFM or SEM or the optical images. As in the previous slide I showed, we used AFM to measure the thickness of polyethylene and MOSE2. And if we talk about the film properties, that is Young's modulus and pre-stretch and the nu, that is Poisson's ratio. Out of these three, the E and epsilon naught are being determined by the FEA fittings with the experiments. And the nu, the Poisson's ratio, is decided by the literature values. And next, coming to indentation measurements like load, displacement, and stiffness. So these were measured by the nano indentation experiments. So we can say this is the nano indenter approaching the thin film. So here the contact is made between the thin film and nano indenter. So this contact can be either adhesive or frictionless. So we have studied both cases, like what if the contact is adhesive and what if the contact between the film and indenter is frictionless. So firstly, we studied the pH relation. pH means load versus displacement relation. So we can see in case of MM means monolayer molybdenum diselenoid. So we will pay attention to red curve first. So we see this one, this is approaching, and we see when there is snap in, that is load, there is a dip in the load, this is snap in. And with the passage of time, here the indenter is just approaching the thin film. And when it has touched the thin film, there is a snap in and their loading starts. So we can see there are curves for loading and unloading. So we used 3 cycles of loading and unloading for the thin film testing. So we can see there are 3 loading and unloading curves, and in the end the load becomes negative, and at the end it snips out. So this is snap out and this is snap in, and we can see the load becomes negative and zero as well. So this shows the adhesive nature of the coating. If we talk about 1 PMS, that is one layer of PE over MOSE2 and 2 PMS, so same goes with them. So there is no way loading or unloading are matching themselves. That's why these coatings are inelastic in nature. So we are seeing the hysteresis because of the inelasticity and adhesivity of the samples. So that's why we studied this. Instead of load displacement, we studied the stiffness versus displacement relations. If we talk about the stiffness relations, so there comes the quasi-static loading, and the continuous stiffness measurement is being done in the nano indenter. So we can see that during the load, small oscillation of forces are observed, and that's why we have studied the stiffness instead of load. So we can see in these curves, the loading and unloading part is quite matching. So it means like there is lesser inelasticity as compared to the load versus displacement curves. We can say there is some elasticity in 2 PMS and 1 PMS, that is loading and unloading is not following each other, but this type of inelasticity is much lesser than that observed in load versus displacement curves. So the stiffness versus displacement is more reliable than load versus displacement data. That's why we have chosen stiffness versus displacement data. So in the end, if we compare the experimental results with the FEA results, we can see the green curve is showing the FEA bonded condition and the blue one is showing the FEA frictionless for the three cases. So we have considered frictionless as well as bonded cases for all the three cases, 1PMS and 2PMS, and compared it with experimental data. So we can see these two bonded and frictionless cases are following each other quite uniformly, like they are following each other in all the three curves, but the parameters used like the modulus and pre-stretch are different. So we have made a conclusion that we are having the modulus value for each of three layers like 1PMS and 2PMS, and pre-stretch values, that is different values, and they are at a point matching each other for different values of Young's modulus and pre-stretch value. So like for case, we are having 265 and 236 gigapascals, two values, that is lower and upper bounds based on whether the condition is frictionless or bonded. So in the summary, I would like to conclude that for the Young's modulus measured was in the range of 236 to 265 gigapascals. So 236 is for the frictionless case, is for the bonded case, and 265 is for the frictionless case. So same goes with the 1PMS. It is in the range of 27 to 31 gigapascals. And based on the 2PMS, the Young's modulus was measured to be 30 to 33 gigapascals. So our major scientific contribution was that it is the first ever experimental measurement on the modulus of 2D MoSE2 using nanoindenter, and first ever experimental measurement of single crystal polyethylene using any technique. So we are the first one who are doing this. And the modulus values are matching very well with the theoretical predictions. So in the end, I would like to thank Dr. Lee, Dr. Dong Zhou, and my PhD advisor, Dr. Gang Feng. Also, I would like to mention Dr. Lee and Dr. Dong helped me with the synthesis part, and Dr. Gang Feng advises me at every step for the research. And thanks. If you would like to reach me, here is my email address and here is my contact number. And this is my summary. Thank you.